This is The Scoop for Wednesday.
I'm Josh Holden with the WMNF News headlines. More than half a dozen conservation-based and environmental organizations have sued the Trump administration over what they say has been a federal government failure to respond to requests for better oversight of toxic waste from fertilizer production and phosphate mining. Staff attorney for the Center for Biological Diversity, Reagan Whitlock, says the lawsuit yesterday comes 4 years after the groups petitioned the Environmental Protection Agency to revisit a 1991 phosphate exemption from federal hazardous waste regulations, which
excluded phosphogypsum and processed wastewater from in-depth hazardous waste regulations, citing only costs of compliance to the fertilizer industry. Since that determination has been made, the impacts to human health and safety and the environment from phosphogypsum have only grown.
Whitlock said multi-billion-dollar companies like Mosaic could stand to take a financial haircut to be better stewards of the environment.
But it takes the EPA and it takes the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to actually act as regulators and not business partners with these Fortune 500 giants.
In the past, the EPA has found that phosphogypsum byproducts contain arsenic, cadmium, and other heavy metals and radioactive chemicals known to cause cancer in humans. Other plaintiffs in the suit include Healthy Gulf, Minnesota 88, the Sierra Club, and more. A bill that would repeal restrictions on middle and high school start times in Florida schools is moving through the Florida Senate. Danielle Pryor has more.
The bill in the Senate and a companion bill in the Florida House seeks to repeal legislation that would have required schools to start later in the day by 2026. The bill was overwhelmingly approved in its second committee, leaving it one step closer to a full vote by the Florida Senate. Democratic State Senator Rosalind Osgood, representing South Florida, says she's grateful that school start times will remain early for middle and high school students.
As a single parent with kids in school, when you can get your kids to school and either go right to work or go back home and have an hour alone, it's really helpful.
There's also concerns that changing start times would require more bus drivers when there's already a bus driver shortage. Democratic State Senator Jason Pizzo was against rolling back restrictions, but still voted for the bill, pointing to research that shows the benefits of more sleep on developing young minds. In Orlando, I'm Danielle Pryor.
The Tampa Bay Times reports students are calling for changes to their high school course schedule, but those concerns were not heeded yesterday when the Pinellas County School Board members left intact the administration's choice to switch to block scheduling in the coming year. The board did not ask for any changes to end the 8-period alternating day block schedule at Gibbs, Hollins, Boca Ciega, and Lakewood high schools. Deputy Superintendent Stephanie Woodward said the schools had an option to use block schedules or more common daily classes. The majority of concerns came from families with students enrolled in magnet programs in high schools and preferred the 8-credit per year model that allowed them to take core, specialty, and advanced coursework. They were also worried that shortening class periods from 85 to 47 minutes would interfere with labs and hands-on lessons. Vice Chairperson Caprice Edmond said the district needs to do a better job of keeping students and families aware of these proposals. String instruments from the Holocaust era will be brought to life in an upcoming concert. WMNF's Joshua Hightower tells us about the two Florida organizations making the performance happen.
The Florida Holocaust Museum and the Florida Orchestra are teaming up to host the Violins of Hope concert on March 20th at the Palladium Theater in St. Petersburg. The performance will include violins, violas, and cellos that survived Nazi concentration camps. The musical ensemble will feature a double-string quartet led by principal cellist and conductor Yoni Dryblot. The Israeli musician has performed on some of the world's biggest stages, including Carnegie Hall. He told WMNF the performance is amongst his most important because of its historical significance.
You're taking the personal story of those instruments, my personal story as an Israeli and a Jew, and the fact that it's somewhat of a more intimate setting, that in and itself is even more amazing than some performances I've done.
The concert will be preceded by a VIP showcase. Attendees will be able to learn more about the history of the instruments in the concert and speak to a violin maker. Joshua Hightower, WMNF News.
Sunny skies today with highs in the upper 70s. Clear skies tonight with overnight lows in the lower 50s. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.